for watching this video. I absolutely appreciate it. Thanks for being here live. There's a difference between the live and the video. Live, you're here. Thank you for listening in. And if you're watching the video later, I absolutely appreciate it. Okay. Hey, I want to remind everybody that I still have a couple of the VIP $49 coaching and 14-day trial. I still have a few open spots next week for the coaching. That's what I'm trying to get to. So if you're interested in taking that 14-day trial with Hit and Run Candlesticks, and that includes the coaching, check the link below under the YouTube, in the comments of the YouTube. Also check our Facebook and X. You might see a link right there for that. Okay. So I'm setting up next week for coaching right now. So let me know if you're interested. Sure would be appreciative. And again, thank you for being here. Also, this weekend, watch for a couple videos and some charts to be posted to our YouTube, Facebook, and X. Okay. All right. Let's get things going here. Hello, Hit and Run Candlesticks. Good morning. How are we doing? How's everybody today? Whoops, something is different. Well, maybe that's okay. Hey, Thomas, good morning. Sonny, Alan, William, good son. Donna, good morning. Daryl, Gold, JW, Ron. I see some names here that hadn't been here in a while. Bill, Mike, Rod. Wow, Rally, Roasted. Go USA. I agree. Coach, go USA. I agree. Dave, Sharon, glad you're here. Roger. All righty. Good morning, everybody. Hey, good morning, Neil. Thank you for being here. Hey, good morning, Julie. It's Friday. Yay. Hey, Tammy. Okay, let's talk about the market here just a little bit. First, I want to come down here and talk over here. This is one of my favorite charts setups because I've got, the market up here, or whatever stock I want to look at up here. And then I've got T2123. Whoops, let me put that on the hourly. There we go. T2123 here at the bottom left. And then I've got VXX over here on the, I'm sorry, that's bottom right. Bottom right. That would be bottom left over there. And I get to see, the chart I'm looking at, plus a little bit of how the market is doing overall right here. And I must say that I can't, it's hard for me personally to be bullish when we're looking like this on T2123. I do follow this indicator pretty close. And I try to stay with it. There are times I break the rules, Yesterday I broke the rule and I got my britches handed to me too. But most of the time I stay with it. So here's the situation. This is still reading to the bearish side. VXX, man, it just kind of all over the place. Looks like it's down this morning. So 2 thumbs up on that. And then we get over here on the market and now the market's popping up a little bit. So really the question is between this one and this one right now. VIX, if it moves down, 2 thumbs up for the bulls right there. Yesterday, we were down, closing with this doji, and I mentioned this in the room yesterday. For me, a doji just, well, where's my line? There it is. A doji is, you've got to wait I have to wait to the next candle. And to be bullish, we need to be over the high of that doji here. And to be bearish, we need to be below that doji right there. Anything in the middle, well, it's just yakety, yakety, yak, yak, yak. That's all it is. And it looks like we're trying to move up here. It does. I'm going to get rid of this line right here so we can see better. The white line is the 8 EMA, or what we call the T line. I think most of you know that. Once we cross back over that line, man, it's going to be hard not to trade something. And doesn't matter what this might look like. It will be hard for me not to get into something. And that would be nice to close up this direction, as I still think we move up into the 670, 70 area, followed by 674. Okay. So that's, even if we move down further, I still think we go up there right now. So we'll be watching that area there. Okay, let's go look here. And there's a better view of the SPY. Okay, so looks like yesterday, we put a doji in bouncing off the trend indicator, the green dots. We're pushing up here on the T line. If all goes well, it's really simple. Are there more bulls? Are there more bears? That's what it amounts to. Okay, and we just simply watch that candlestick, the price action. It's one of the greatest things on a chart. And if we can close up here, well, that might set us up for, where's my pin? Just what we've been doing. If we go back here to the way to the left, I'm actually going to do this in red so it's a little easier to see. You go to a low to a high, that's a swing for us swing traders. That's perfect. And then we make sure you take some profits. It pulls back, it sets up again, and there you go. Swing traders are loving that. Back down, swing trading. Back down, nice entry in here above the T line. What a great swing trade right here. And back down, make sure you take profits into strength. Buy, and here you are back up. Make sure you take profits, and here you are. Well, here we go. If we get going, we'll look at making profits up here. I can't say for sure, guarantee we're going to head here the first swing. We might, pop up and play around and do something like that. But make sure you take profits. And right now, everything is working really, really well. Okay, very well. So we can look at the cues real quick. I don't think it's going to give us any different. There you go. You can see the cues. They're doing about the same thing. They're actually up over the T line this morning. Now they just need to hold that area. IWM, IWM, it's trying. Again, it needs to get above the T line there, and that will put me back in good bullish attitude. Just need to watch that T2123. Excuse me. So what I'm really after here is price to be above the T line and the T line to be above the trend indicator. Let me grab a little drink. Mercy. All right. So I think we're looking pretty good overall in the market. I really do. So let's go bulls, right? All right. So let's take a look at those bulls. A few charts I'm looking at. First, BULL. I'm holding bull. I actually bought bull back here on the 22nd. I don't know. I'll have to confirm. Was it the 22nd or 23rd? I'll have to confirm that. Says I've been in it 4 days. So 1, 2, 3, 4. I must have bought it right here if they're counting today as one. Either way, I'm in bull. It pulled back yesterday and I added to bull down here. And now here it is breaking out to the upside. So my first target on bull is going to be in the neighborhood of 15. We'll call it 1585. Second target up here near that 1850 area. I really don't have any plans to sell it right here. I'd like to see it move up a little higher. Probably should put another little line right in there. Yeah, we'll put it right there and just kind of watch that chart, okay? But anyway, bull is looking pretty good here, so let's get going with that one, right? PLPTTIR is another one that I've got my eyes on today to buy. Is this PTIR. Now this one, I already own PLTR in the big account, but the Road to Wealth account, which by the way is very, very close to making another jumping over a landmark hurdle here. So looking forward to that. But PTIR is what I'm looking to buy today. And then on anticipation of a breakout, and then moving up here to 34.30 at 36.50, and then we'll look for something a little higher once we cross those lines up there. Okay. Hey, coach. Yeah, let's look at RKLB. This is the one This is the one that kicked my butt yesterday. I bought it down here, and it scared me. It did. It scared me out down here. I closed it up, and look at it now, looking great. Thanks a lot, coach. Appreciate it. Put that on the flag. May have to buy that thing back today. Yeah, yesterday it scared me out. It did. Hey, S, you're looking at Uroy. There we go. Beautiful, beautiful chart setup. And what's so doggone beautiful about it? Well, let's take a look. Let's make that an arrow. We'll make that blue. Look at that road trend indicator right there. Nice and green. Look at that. That's beautiful. And then we come over here. See how we rally up and we consolidate. Whoops, that is not the one I wanted. Let's do this, make that red. There we go. See how we popped up a little bit of consolidation? That's a great entry area. I'm actually going to redraw that because right there would have been a pop out of the box. Entry area, there's a pop out of the box. It did pull back. It did, but still within the trend. T-line still above the trend indicator. The price did go below the T-line, so that might give some concern. But either way, here we are back again. What a nice entry area here. Look at that pop out of the box here. We're popping up, and we're setting up for a nice 3/8 trap right here and a 3/8 trap breakout setting up. I better flag that one. That's a nice chart. Yeah, that's looking terrific. Thank you very much for that. Excellent. What else do we have? CL. Thanks for the chart, you guys, today. CL for a short. Yeah, it's certainly moving down here, isn't it? Yeah, it certainly is. And there's nothing about it that looks bullish. So follow the trend. The trend will be a trend till it's no longer a trend. We've also have. This is not it's not a book. If the book was I guess book's the standard, whether or not the book is the right. Okay. It is the standard. We have a falling method happening here, and falling method, we're down. It's supposed to be 3 stocks in here. Or 3 candles, 1, 2, 3. But who says that's right? So I'm always that way. I always question things like that. Who makes this stuff up? And there we go there. So it is to me, it's a falling method. So yeah, that's looking like a pretty darn good short right in here. Also a nice 3/8 trap, bearish 3/8 trap right in there. So way cool on that one. Thank you. Let's flag that. Good son, UU. Yeah, UU is setting up. Still have a $20 to $21 target, so 20.50 up here. Looking great. So let's talk about the shooting star. So we get a shooting star in here, and everybody starts thinking, and I used to be this way. Everybody starts thinking, oh my God, right? You got a shooting star, it's going to come down. That is not necessarily the truth. In fact, I would argue that is actually far from the truth. When you have an overall bullish market in the background and you see a shooting star in a chart, I would put my money on that it's more likely a short-term pullback. Candlesticks are short-term. There's not one doggone thing about a candlestick that implicates long-term. It's short-term. It's short-term because it's made by short-term people, and we are the people, and people are very short-term in nature. So As long as the market is bullish, if the market is bullish in the background, then when we see something like this, it's just, watch for a short-term pullback. And if you take a look at it, do this. Here we are. There's your nice little entry. We pop up, we pull back. Notice the trend indicator stayed green right in there. Beautiful. So short-term pullback. We have a little belt hold that maybe sort of kind of engulfed the body, right? And then a nice little inside day today. 3-8 trap or 3-8 trap breakout. Either way, I'm looking, what are we looking at? If, an entry right now, 16%, I'm flagging that one. Thank you. 16%. And then the next target will be right up there, about 25. That's what I'll be looking at. Nice chart. Thanks, Mr. Goodson. UEC. UCEC is on my list for this morning if you guys didn't have any to talk about. And I've got a couple of targets up there reaching the recent high of around 15 and then 1560 up here. Another nice little 3-8 trap setting up. Look at the trend. Look, this is the corniest thing in the world. All right. It really is. Every time I say it, I feel like I'm saying something extremely corny. The trend will stay a trend until it's no longer a trend. The key is to establish your trend. My trend is the trend indicator right there. All right. So we broke trend just a little bit based on price, but the T line did not break trend here. So, you can deal with this however you might want to deal with it. Wait for the buy signal to come back in, wait for it to get over the trend indicator. But overall, the trend did not break. Price broke, but not the trend. So if you think of it this way, well, look at all the places you could have been a buyer in here. Those nice little these are the things we look for. You could be a buyer in a lot of places, but these are the kind of things that we tend to look for right here. Look at that. Well, guess where we are? We're doing it again. So watch for those buy areas in there. And this is a buy area for many people too. So beautiful chart. Excellent chart. Where am I here? TMC looking good. Let's take a look. That's looking fantastic. It's already hit our sweet spot, that 50% retracement. There's the next target up there, the 61.8. We're going to duplicate that, and let's put a target right there at about 750, 760. Very nice rounded bottom on this, by the way. Let's flag that. Thank you. Very nice rounded bottom. We've got ourselves a Fig Newton chart pattern here. It's kind of a cross between a Fig Newton and a Doji continuation and a Hiromi continuation pattern. And that's where you have a bullish candle, you have a not so bullish, and then a bullish candle in here. Huge bullish engulf. So right now, TMC is definitely pointing to the upside. Yeah, nice chart. Thank you for that one. Thanks, Alan. Also, I want to mention that a lot of people, and we went over this in the room the other day, and I probably need to go over it again. But I get asked quite a bit here. What I need to do is make a video on it. This right here, people asked the other day. Somebody asked about my power line down here. We talked about that, and this here. This is just telling me that this chart right here is above the cloud on the daily, the weekly, the 60-minute, and the 3-bar chart. Say it was above the cloud on the weekly, but not the daily, it wouldn't show up. The daily wouldn't be here. So I can just quickly glance at this and say, hey, it's above the cloud. So anybody that's interested in the cloud, that might be something you might think about there. So, and I just looked up there and saw it, and that's what reminded me of it. Hey, Sonny, Aklo. Yeah, that's one of I like that chart. Mainly, I like to say the ticker symbol. Aklo. Yeah, that's setting up. We probably need to redo some of the lines on this, don't we? So I'm just going to delete that right there. Right now, we may have support, we may have buyers in there. So if we can hold over the T line, yeah, I would look for this retesting that top up there. And yeah, we'll keep an eye on that. But right now, that would be my trade from here to that top, and then reevaluate when we push up there. Okay. We better put a line right in here too. Okay. But that's huge. Just from here to the recent tops, 18%. That's some money. That's cool money. Let's see. Neil is putting out Google. What are you saying? Maybe we're keeping an eye. Nice entry. Yes, I agree. See, here we are. Look at the overall trend. Remember, the trend will stay a trend until it's no longer a trend. You have to know what your trend is. It's really simple. I'll tell you right now. You can engrave this in concrete if you want to. My trend is price T-line trend indicator. That's simple. And the trend indicator is holding the big trend together for me. And look at that. Total trend. And price will move within that trend. So here's price rallied up, got a little ahead of itself, and here it's pulling back to the mother trend. And now we're setting up for an entry right in here. Little 3 trap setting up. If we pop right up above that T line, right now would be a good entry as well. So nice chart. Thank you, Neil. Appreciate it. Hey, Mike, Sophie. Take a look at Sophie here. Sophie's moving up. Yeah, I need to redo this one as well. So we'll put this up. Actually, let's do this one right now. I'm going to take this low, go to this high. We're going to come up here to this low, and there's some targets for us. There's my 50% sweet spot, just based on this low, high, higher low. Looking to make a higher high. We're going to put another line right here. That's at the 61.8, and another line, and this is at the 75, 87.5 line right in there. There we go. And then we'll worry about what's above once we get through those. That's setting up very nice. Sophie, S-O-F-I. And notice once again, the trend, trade price within the trend. Price within the trend. Hey, Mike, good morning. GLW. Yeah, look at that. That's another one. Setting up. Absolutely beautiful. Another one I just noticed here. Another one completely above the cloud here. The only thing here might be getting a little far from the 50, but hey, follow that trend. Follow that trend. Grab. Yeah, Grab is one on our watch list too. That seems to be one that is, Grab is heavy in the social media area for those that follow it. It seems like everybody and their brother is posting about this one. And it looks good too. I mean, they should. It looks great. So I'm just kind of waiting for it to settle down a little bit. I personally would like to see the T-line a little closer to the trend indicator. So it would be nice. It would be nice for me if this thing would just kind of walk to the right a little bit, and up and down, try and fail, pull back and fail and move up. And as it walks to the right, the trend indicator will move up closer like that. And then when you get those a little bit closer, then I think we've got something. So that's kind of what I'm watching for. But if it starts to break out, and I would say above that 630 level, I'm looking at this candle right here, get above the close. We get above that. That could push us up to the top. Just watch that top, okay? CLF from Bobby here. Thanks, Bobby. Beautiful chart. Real nice chart. In fact, it's on my list here. I have a few stocks right here set up, and that is on my list to talk about today. So target up here, that 1450 area. Nice inside day. 3-8 trap breakout setting up here. Excellent looking chart. Excellent. Okay. Let's see if some others have popped up. A lot of times, as you know, the market goes, a few things pop up. Let's take a look at C. Look at that. I have a scan that looks for these charts setting up just like this, where you know you're trending and you're up and you're back and you're setting up. Citibank is looking pretty good. You know, if you listen to any of the bigger firms or anything, they seem to think that the banks are going to do pretty good come earnings, and earnings is just around the corner for them. So we'll keep an eye on those. RTX, look at that one. Nice trend, pullback inside day. AMKR, that's looking pretty good. And this one, there's our 50% sweet spot. We're right there right now. We take that out, and then there's the next target right there. That's a nice chart. I'm going to flag that. So couple, gap up, some profit taking, gap back up. Evidently, the bulls, remember, more bulls or more bears? Which is it? That's the only thing that makes a chart move. The buyers and the sellers. Are there more buyers or are there more sellers? That's it. That's all that makes it move. And right now, there are definitely buyers in here. So we ought to keep an eye on this chart. That looks good. Watch for that 33 mark up there. MUX, I talked about this one yesterday. It did not fare that well yesterday, but it did stay right there in the 3/8 trap. And now it might be trying to come up. I still like the chart, whether it takes off today or takes off next week. I think it's a great looking chart based on the charts here. Hey, Bell, I certainly can look at Granny. There we go. Look at that. I love it. You know, I love it. We've got a doji. We're right here at the T line. It's about follow through right now. You know, recently bouncing off the 50 period moving average. Nice run up, pull back. Looks great. I can see that it's there we go. See, if you're following the cloud, it's above the cloud on the daily and the 3 bar, not the 60 or not the weekly, if that matters to you. But that looks really good here. You know what? Let's do that, because I do look at that 60-minute cloud pretty often, and you can look at that right there, and it can you get a real visual now of what it needs to do, don't you? So what I'm going to do is come down here, and if we start popping out of that cloud, and I'm just going to use that flat spot, and that will get us over this little flag, bear flag that had follow through. Fact, it had follow through. So if we were to do that, put that line back there, and then go up here on the daily, look at that. So would it be logical to say GRNY is a buy above 24.90? I think so. Nice chart. Thanks. Hey, Bobby. GDXJ. There we go. Nice bullish chart. Look at that. The trend is your trend. Trend is your friend. You just have to know what your trend is. This is what I find with most people. They cannot describe a trend and a trade within a trend. They can't, they don't know what to do with it. And using moving averages like this, I think it smooths everything out for you. Clearly, the red dots is not a bullish trend. That's very simple. The green, that is a bullish trend. So for me, I want to add price, T-line, trend indicator, price and T-line above the trend indicator. For me, the 100% trend is when price moves over the T-line here. So see right in here, we still have trend, but the buy signal for me is when we're down like this, when we see the buy signal, and there was the buy signal. Well, here is what I would call a perfect trend: up, back, entry, stop, target. Not hard. Nice chart. Let's flag that. I need to watch the time. I got another minute or so. If GDX, let's see, GDX, Yeah, look at GDX. Gold is still looking really, really good, everyone. I mean, gold is pretty nice. In fact, here, we'll talk about this one. Look at that 3-8 trap right there. The trend is your friend. Know what your trend is. I've explained it a couple times here. If anyone needs any help, holler at me. Pull back, beautiful 3-8 trap. And then you're also looking at Nugget. Look at Nugget, same thing. I happen to be in HL. I'm in HL here. I bought that yesterday. Here we are up. Remember, the trend is your friend. I got alerted yesterday right here. Looks like a good chart to me. It's working out. I've got targets up there. Looks like we're pushing up today, so that's working. Lucho, too bad we no longer have Ed's scanner to find those trends. Actually, Lucho, well, you're right, we don't. But I can find them all day long. You just need, I use TC2000. I set up my scans and I find them just bang, 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 bang. But you are right. I do miss the scanner, but with TC2000, you can nail them. Okay. So thoughts on GENI. GENI. GENI here, I think it needs some love for me personally to trade. I think it needs some love. So I'm just going to look at a 2, 3, 5-day chart, weekly chart. All right. So as I look at this chart here, I see this chart just sloppy as all get out. I don't want to buy a sloppy chart. So here's one thing I want to do. Where do I think GENI can go? Well, I'm going to look at the weekly chart again because I didn't do that. Oh, there's plenty upside to go where it's been before, right? So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to take this tool right here, which on TC2000, it's the Fibonacci retracement. And I'm going to go down to that low. So I'm going to go from this high to that low down there. And then I'm going to go back to the daily chart and do this right here. Okay. Now, I'm going to put right here is that 50% retracement. And that is truly my sweet spot. That's the first place my eyes go to no matter what, where the bunch, the three lines are, the bunching of those lines. That's where I want to go to. And I'm loving this chart, by the way. I mean, it just starting to pop out. So here we've tested, and failed all the times. We're holding the 50-period moving average. In fact, as we've tested over here, look how wide the 50-period moving average was to that test line. Look how narrow we are now, right? Look how narrow we are. So that just might be getting ready to hop and pop, right? So that's what I'm going to be looking at. So where do we buy it? Well, anywhere in here is a buyer if that's what you want to do. I mean, everyone has to have their own reasons for buying, okay? But here's something I want to point out. Well, for me, okay, I like to go when I see buyers buy it. So you rock and roll. You buy it. When I see it, I'll buy it. That's what I'll look. That's the things I do. So I don't mean you personally, but if you could, I don't know, if you could make a candle in there, okay, it works for me. But I think it's important to know what it can do. So let's think about that. So and this will be the last one I can talk about today. I'm out of time. That's going to be my next target up. Well, if we look at a breakout here, say at 1346, right? What is that? That's 16.5%. That's the type of trade I'm going to look for. I'm going to look for this to move up. And the reason is I don't see a buy signal yet. I see a buy pattern overall, yes, but I don't see that price action. So when I see that price action, then I'll look to buy it. On that pop up, that pullback, I should have done that a little differently. On that pop up, maybe we have a pullback, and then on that coming in like that, that's what I'll look for. All that said, I think that's a great looking chart. Okay. Absolutely fantastic. We should keep that on our watch list. Those that own it, 2 thumbs up. Yeah, 2 thumbs up. And let's see, one thing over here. Bull, show buyers coming in. Yes. Yeah, bull is looking good here. I own that and it's looking great. Yeah. Um, right now I'm up 22%. It'll be way more than that when the market actually opens. All right, everyone. Thank you for watching this live. For those that's watching it on the video later, thank you very much for doing that. I appreciate it. I'll see you in the trading room, members. Okay.